Hi guys, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
What's up, girl?
I'm
Hey.
doing I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. So I have a couple questions to ask you guys. We're gonna start with Daliate and Avery, and then I'll switch to Priscilla, and then I have one overall arching question. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, let's dive into it. So my first question for you guys is, what was your first thought that you had after reading the play for the first time?
I was intrigued. These seem like very complex characters. I mean, and kind of confused. Um, just in the throes of figuring out what they want. Um, it was interesting. I was excited to learn who they were and to get to be the guy and just figure out what he was all about and just explore his journey. I mean, it's very, I don't know, he's a weird cat, you know? So just to be able to play that and have fun with that and do it with Dahlia, because she's a great scene partner.
Oh.
That's a buddy you up. She's really good and gives me a lot to work with. So that was nice to play with as well. Dahlia.
Well, you were like such an amazing actor. You always like stuck with your accent, which was like very cool. And I was just like, oh, maybe I should do the same. But yeah, reading this was just very interesting. Just to like the story itself was just a lot, and it was like something that I haven't read something like this where it was just like all these different situations coming about. I was just like, ooh, like this is a lot. But then it like as I was telling Priscilla the other time, it's just like just to think about what if I was actually in this girl's like position, like what if I was actually in that. Like obviously we all be like, oh no, we would never, but really you never know until you're in that position and see how you would react to that. But yeah, I was really excited because it was very different than anything I've done before. So it was very exciting to see how I can play around with the character, and Avery was such a great partner to have in this. So yeah.
Speaking of characters, what was the aspect that you felt like you most related to with your characters?
Well, he's weird. Like, he's not very trusting, but he's also Mr. I'll take care of you, you know? And he wants to make sure his lady's like all good and is kept happy and you know, he wants to treat her like the princess. You know, he's a prince. He wants to be all accommodating. At the same time, he's not used to getting no's, which is understandable. Person in his position. So to come across a no to a relationship, but an I'll still take care of you. And have that feeling, because you know you feel when somebody likes you and is feeling you, right? So to get that feeling and have her be like, it's not got nothing to do with the money, it's about who you are, is so perplexing to him and exciting. It's I can see how it drives him crazy sometimes, because he's like, you're here, but you don't want the money, you don't care about that. You care about me, like who I really am, but you don't want to be with me. I don't get it. And to be like pampered his whole life and not have that, because the person on the ground has that experience of, you know, interpersonal relationships being real, not just being pleasing. He doesn't know that, so this is whole new territory for him. So in that context of like exciting, new, trying to figure out relationship stuff, I get him. I can jive with that.
With Michelle, with meeting Ahmed and in her own personal life, and then also meeting somebody new and just being in her own space, and the way she would handle situations of whether like how she talks to her family and the way she handles situations with him are things that I feel like I related to, in the sense of just like she's just being frustrated where she is listening to everybody else's perspective and not her own. Like she would rather just take somebody else telling her what to do, and because it's easier that way instead of actually understanding what she wants deep inside. And that's something I can definitely relate to with her. It's just like we get so caught up of like wondering what's right and what other people want from you instead of actually doing something that you want. So definitely that.
Good, you guys. And then my last question that I have for you guys is, what are you going to take away from this experience and the process of making the show and put it into other shows that you want to do in the future?
For me, was just being able to say yes and just take a risk and just like trusting everybody around me. I know in the past, like for me, it was always just a hard time just struggling anything with that comes into like, when it comes to like a relationship scene, finding that connection and finding that obviously through Zoom is a little bit harder too, but still allowing yourself to get to yourself to feel that was always difficult in the past. So being able just to take that risk and be comfortable with the people I am with around me. So it was definitely just allowing myself just to make those decisions and just have fun with it. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
I'd say the practice. This is my third Zoom show, and it was in student film that I'm like shooting myself, but like I don't know. I feel like I'm getting better at it. Working on connection with somebody else online, especially romantic connection, like Daliate said, is a whole other animal to tackle. It's not like we're shooting a movie of like long distance where the people come together in the end. We're fucking online the whole time. But it's good. It strengthens another muscle, you know, of it's just connection. It's not even visual connection when we're shooting a scene of like the in the bed scene, you know. At that point, it's just like trying to feel her energy over the computer, and I'm just listening to her, you know. And I'm finding what really, as a character, attracts me to somebody else. And there's the passions. That's where you really get a feeling for and get to play with, and that's fun. This was a fun show to do over Zoom.
But I also think it's what Avery says, that it's practice, you know, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Practice.
That was actually the question that I had kind of for all three of you, is like, what was it like to actually shoot this over Zoom? Like, what was the technical difficulties that you guys were having? What works even? Because I hear a lot more about the technical difficulties about shooting over Zoom and doing Zoom plays and things like that, but I don't hear a lot about the advantages. Like, what did you find that you can't really do in person, but you can do it on Zoom? And then also, like, what were the difficulties?
Well, obviously, the advantages for me, I think, is that, you know, everyone is, we are all at home, safe, and we're at home, and, you know, it doesn't matter if we, which it did not happen. Normally it was from 5:15 until 7:30, but if we would end at 9, you know, we're still at home. So it's not like we have to get the train and rush it and the night and whatever. No, we're at home. So that's a big advantage. At least we're comfortable in this sense, you know, but sometimes obviously we're human beings. We love to interact with each other, but you know, the pandemic situation.
So. Yeah.
I mean, I guess like just try to find that connection, but that was honestly not even that difficult too, just because of like how we were working and just understanding the characters on our own kind of helped understand each other. Yeah, I don't have anything bad. I think everything was pretty like easy. We were trying to find our own ways. There wasn't anything where like we felt frustrated. We were just trying to find anything like different and stuff. It wasn't too bad.
Because I think that the thing is that we were we were like aware of the situation that we were in. So we were aware that we were in Zoom and that sometimes a bad connection could happen, and we wait.
I'll say this: it's hard for me. It's hard to be to go workspace, home space, workspace in my home space.
Oh, okay.
You know, to be in because it's all different feels, vibes to go in class all morning and be in my room or be in the garage, and then switch to all right, now I'm hanging out in my room, stretching or working out, and then rehearsals either in my room or in the garage. I mean, sometimes I went to the school just to rehearse just because I need to be in a different space. Like, just helps me reset and helps me get into like a focused mindset. But as far as like for the show and like character stuff, I mean again, it's weird to do like just in one space. It was a new experience to like to do it like not separately. Well, separately physically. It's new to do it separately physically. You know, and just be on this digital medium. And I don't want to say like this, man, I wasn't this ready for the future just to become technology all the time. I want to be in person and do person shit. But at the moment, I feel like the ladies that I am acclimating well.
Yeah, no, and I think that in this case it was more the clothes that was changing than rather the place. The costume was every day a new one. Get another thing of the clothes. Yes. At the end, I knew the entire closet of them. So.
Yeah, you used my entire closet at that point. I had not wore that much color. You know, I just like to wear my black shirt, black pants and stuff. So this was like the most color I've worn in a while.
Every day a different day, every day a different day, and let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you guys had such a positive experience with this one. Again, I've heard and experienced some faux pas in a Zoom play, so I'm really glad that this went well for you guys. But Priscilla, I have a couple questions for you, hon. Okay. Main question: how did you come up with this? Yeah. Like, why did you want to do this right now? Like, what was the significance of putting this out right now, in the middle of this pandemic, in the middle of this worldwide phenomenon? Like, what prompted this idea, and when, like, why?
Right, that's super interesting. I knew this question was going to come. So this started basically on summer. I wanted to write and direct something, but I did not know exactly what. And it started when I was talking with my friends in video call, and we were talking about how the human relationships are changing and shifting a little bit because of the global pandemic and everything. And then we were talking about how specifically romantic relationships right now are more in 2020 than in other years, are splitting up or breaking up because of the fact that they cannot see each other because of the distance, because 10 months without seeing each other, 2 years without seeing each other, and then and then they end up splitting up. Exactly, like Ahmed, the gestures that he does. So that was one thing. And then I thought, okay, so this is happening in 2020 right now, so why can't I do something about a relationship, something about any kind of relationship, a relationship with two people, and what happens over there? And then the other thing is that I was seeing on TV this summer many billionaires and millionaires that they exist. We have, then I researched it, and they're like 2,800 more or less in the world right now, and they exist. And I was like, with this of the vaccine and the trials and everything, I was like, why they don't help us a little bit? Why they don't help us a little bit, investing a little bit in the vaccine trials, right? That now is when we need them more. And that was a little bit disappointed in my head, because it was like, okay, so normally they know they don't help. And sometimes when we talk about millionaires and billionaires, we distance ourselves and we think, oh no, this person it's right, it's not helping because they don't even know what to do with the money, they have too much, and every day they buy a new car and no problem, right? And they stay in that state, which is completely respectful. It's completely respectful. But there's this thing where, okay, now the world really needs you, and what are we doing? So I thought, okay, so let's mix these two things, and let's mix a relationship and someone in this relationship who is billionaire, and then let's mix these two people, and let's see what happens. And I also wanted to do it abroad, just because like this I was bringing a little bit myself with like this abroad experience that I had, and like two characters coming from outside London and Dubai, and you know, one is learning English, the other one is coming from for a scholarship, and they meet here in America, right? That is crazy. And like what happens. So at the end of the day, I wanted to do something as intense as possible as the pandemic itself. So and so here we are with this that really came out. And then after some time, I saw, well, Yasin actually recommended me to see this film, Indecent Proposal. And then I saw it, I was like, okay, that's something is there very similar. A man and a wife, someone offering them 1 million. What do they do in that situation? I was like, wow, right? Something crazy. Why not? Right? And
yeah. Wow, that
and
wow.
like, okay, let's mix two cultures that they don't have the same mindset, completely different mindset. And that was also something very interesting for this movie, because then they really crash with each other, but at the same time it's like a magnet, right? They crash, but they match, right? So these contradictions the entire time. Hell, heaven.
Yeah, no, wow, that's amazing to be able to because those are two very different ideas, and movies have been made about like the end of the world, but also like rom-coms. So to like mash them together that's a very creative idea that I would have never thought of. That's really dope, actually. And then was this play intended to even be for film, or was this intended to be like made in person and like with the actors being able to actually react to each other in real time?
Yeah, no, that for me was intended to be in person completely, like an entire full play. I even had all the positions in my head, or like where they were going to be on stage and everything. And then because I was seeing that things were shutting down and everything, so I needed to make a final decision, because I told them, you know, it's going to be very complicated, or one thing or the other, right? So I have to shift everything to film. And then at the end of the day, I also thought, okay, you know, let's experience this editing world, which was a whole other thing. And it was a lot, but it was very fun. Because I really played a lot with I told them all the time, do the facial expressions, whatever you want, you know, maintain yourself in the character, because even if you're not speaking, if you're not on camera, I can switch, and I can put you that little look that you did, that it's priceless. And I was always like that. And no, yeah, really, for real, because there were some reactions that they were doing that I was just cracking myself up when I was editing. Oh my god. And but it was very fun. It was intense, the entire thing, the idea and the process and the editing, everything from the beginning until the end. But obviously, as themselves, they both said that they were very good scene partners. Obviously, they already heard it from my part. Maybe they are tired of hearing it, but they're really amazing cast. I tell you, very amazing cast, very hardworking. The environment, it was very nice environment, right? Very nice teamwork. There was a moment that I forgot something. I don't know what was it. I think it was a prop or something. I said, I forgot to tell you to bring that prop and this. And then they were like, no problem, I have it here. Perfect. So it was like the three of us, we were there, connected all the time. We knew exactly what was going on at every moment. So that was great. So grateful.
December. Thank you so much, guys. This was so much fun. I hope you have a lovely day.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Good night.